Odds are, I don't need to tell you what the car is sitting behind me. But on the off chance that you don't actually know, meet the 2014 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. That's right. For this year, in the 7th generation, GM decided to resurrect the legendary name. But not only that, it upped its game to build the Corvette that you've always secretly wished they would. Don't believe me? Well, let's start with the style. For this generation, GM gave the car more angular, sharper lines, more aggressive styling, and, well, a laundry list of performance upgrades that bring this car into a serious performance bracket that it just wasn't in before. Now, much of the car's styling is, well, very functional, including the vents going out of the front and rear wheels that help keep the big Brembo brakes cooler and more performing on the track, or at least so we would assume, and it'd be logical to think that. But, on the other hand, there's a lot of styling in this car that, well, might not sit all that well with some of the stoics who've been fans of the brand ever since its beginning 60 years ago. Specifically, the rear tail lights. This is the first time that GM has seen fit to ditch the round rear lamps that, well, have characterized the car since its beginning. Some might like the afterburner look that they present, leaving it looking a little bit like a fighter jet, but then again, it's hard to say. What is easy to say is how good the quad exhaust looks at the back. It makes the Corvette look less like a sports car and more like a weapon. So what's this baby loaded with? Well, for starters, GM built an all-new 6.2-liter V8 to resurrect the LT1 name. Now, it's nothing like the old LT1 motor, and it delivers 450 horsepower and an estimated 450 pound-feet of torque to this car. Now, that's enough to carry it from 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds, according to the brand. Apart from that, GM also says that it's capable of up to 26 miles per gallon on the highway. That's a 24% increase over last year's model. Apart from that, GM will offer the car with, well, an automatic transmission if you want it, but personally, I hope that you don't. And that's because the alternative is a 7-speed manual. That's right, the car is joining the likes of the Porsche 911, but there's more. On top of that, it gets rev-matching downshifts, meaning that going from third to second is going to be buttery smooth, making even less experienced drivers more capable on the road. The car is stiffer, it's lighter, and GM claims that it actually has a better power-to-weight ratio than, wait for it, the Audi R8 and Porsche 911. Power-to-weight ratios may be impressive, and there's no question that it's exciting to think that this car could beat both the R8 and the 911. But it's hard not to wonder what else is going on. And, well, there's more. Chevrolet is also offering a Z51 performance package, which takes the car farther than the base Stingray model. Among the upgrades included in the package, Chevrolet is offering carbon ceramic brakes and, more importantly, the magnetic ride control suspension that made the ZL1 Camaro such a track monster. But that's all well and good until you remember that this is a Corvette we're talking about, which means a crappy interior, right? Wrong. In fact, this is the first time that Chevrolet has done a good job of building an interior that's, well, actually pretty impressive. Hand-wrapped leather, aluminum accents, dual infotainment screens, and seats, which you get a choice of 2 different kinds of, both sitting in magnesium buckets for weight loss, all go together to make this the nicest Corvette interior we've ever seen, and actually one that's on par with performance cars that it always competed against, but suffered for its lack of interior quality. While pricing isn't announced yet, the car goes into production in the 3rd quarter of this year, and our fingers are definitely crossed that this is going to follow the Corvette mantra of performance value.